Hi guys, welcome to my Pango bookstore, where I'm going to be discussing some books and showing you some of the books that we do have on sale. My Pango bookstore is https backslash semicolon pangobooks.com/bookstore slash Eunice EUNICE 261247. Also, too, you can catch some of my books on www.ebay.com/str/Chauze Books and Home Decor. Chauze is SHAWZAE. Okay, so let's go ahead and get discussing the books a little bit before I get into showing you these books and so forth. Here is my book storage space and so forth. I am hoping to be able to get at least 1,000. That's what I want, at least 1,000 books in my bookstore. That is my goal, and everything. And I've never sold books before. I have already read books, written a book, and all that, but this is my first time in life actually selling books. And there is a lot behind learning to sell books. You got to learn the value of the books, the age of the books, and it's all about the condition of the books and all that. All that creates, what you can actually charge for the books. And take Stephen King here. This is a vintage book, and also this book here has a special feature. It's a large print. So even though this book is a great book and so forth, and a very popular and everything, because Stephen King has a lot of people that love to read his book and so forth, you have to comp this book and determine what you would charge for this book. This book does not have the dust cover, so immediately you do have to lower your price and so forth. And for example, let's just say that all the other people that is selling this book, say for $73 and so forth, that's the comp, that is what they're paying for this book and so forth. And you have the book, even with the special feature and so forth, you will have to lower that price because you don't have the desk cover, and you can't comp and charge for the same thing as the book with the jacket to it, because you don't have the jacket here. So you do have to use a little bit of your own common sense and knowledge insofar as the books and so forth goes. But yeah, this book does not deter, or should not deter you from picking it up, because it does not have a dust jacket, because it will sell. It's a popular book, a popular writer, and so forth, and a popular gene for this book and so forth. And this is a dream catcher. This is a vintage book with a special feature large print by Stephen King. He is still a popular writer, still a popular author, I should say, and so forth. And his books do sell quite a bit. When I did the comps and so far, I also seen some of his books. They selling it in locks, and they could go as much as $200 some and more. That's how popular he is. So I was definitely going to pick that book up and keep it. Here's another popular author, but in a different category. This Harlan Coben is a great mystery and suspense writer with I should say thriller and suspense writer with a little mystery in there. This one here is Hold Tight, a great book to read. Very, very interesting. And we do have the Book of Virtues here. Now, this also is a vintage book. I would say, I think this book is on my store for like $35. And this is a great book. And this book is the Book of Virtues, a treasury of great moral stories and so forth and everything. So this is still a popular book to read and so forth and everything. And I was happy to pick this book up. Usually when I do my thrifting, I always check the comps on the books and so forth, because I don't really want to have a lot of love ball books in my store and so forth, because by the time you take out the fees and all this and that so far, you'll make some money, profit something a little bit more than you got the book for. But that's not the reason you're selling books or actually selling anything. is just to get your money back or a dollar or two more and so forth and everything. So you need to be careful with the prices that you pay for these books and so forth. So I have learned a lot of stuff about selling books, about the condition, sourcing, and all that good stuff. So all that stuff comes into play, how much you pay for your books and so forth and things like that. And you always want to do a comp to see what the book sold for or what everybody else is selling the book for. And a lot of people like to do the sold comps and so forth to see what the book sold for and so forth. But a lot of times some of these books have not sold. They're selling, which you still have to put in what other people are selling the book for. So if that makes sense. Okay. Now, Terry McMillan is a great writer, and this is another way that you will make money into your bookstore and so forth by locking books up. Terry McMillan is very popular. She did that Waiting to Exhale and so forth. She continued writing more popular books and things like that. This one here is Getting to Happy, and this one here is A Dollar Late. Yep, a day late and a dollar short. Great books, a lot of funny spots in these books and so forth and everything. And they are just a great read and all that and so forth. And also, too, when you're able to bundle books and things like that, you're able to give your customer, it's a win-win. You're giving your customers more, and you also, it's a win-win for yourself and so forth. And instead of me being able to sell her books like that for like, I can't remember what the comp was on this book in particular and so forth. But anyway, I bundled these two books together and so forth so that the reader can get more and so forth. And I could also get a little more and so forth than selling these individually. Okay, so that's one of the things I learned too. So here we go. We have a book on raising horses. Let me see, Stories Guide to Raising Horses. And this book teaches you about breeding, care, and facility. Facilities are stalls where they keep horses, where horses live and get fed and all this and that stuff. And it's actually a great book. It tells you about the skin problem, like you said, care of the horses and so forth and things like that. So if you're interested in breeding horses or caring for horses, or if you've got a horse as a pet or anything and so forth, this would be a good book to give you some kind of guidelines into caring for that horse. I also have my little memory pad books and so forth. This book here shows a memo pad / diary, so you can keep this at your desktop. You can use it as a diary, keep it under your mattress or pillow, wherever you keep your diary at in a drawer. You can use this. And I did put the little elastic band there as a closure with that cute little design piece there and so forth. And also the little memo pad that you throw in your purse and just carry anywhere to jot down numbers, or little reminders or things like that on your way. You can also, have this for that purpose and things like that. I do believe that most of us women do have a pen in our bag and something to write on. I don't know if everyone will have a memo pad and so forth, but it is a good idea to have a memo pad so that you don't have to grab your pen and just write on something important and so forth and things like that. And use that memo pad, to keep, little notes and things in. Now, this memo pad is a different size and so forth, and you can actually use this in your handbag, or you can use it at your desk and so forth to jot down notes, phone calls, and, whatever, and things like that. And don't forget, I do have those business entrepreneurs monthly planners for your desktop so that you can do your to-do list. And also there's notes at the bottom where you can put notes and things. And also there is a 12-month calendar in the back for your appointments and so forth. Hopefully this book will last you the year round. I'm using mine and I do love it and so forth and everything. So I am truly glad that I made these particular books. And here we have Ola, Find Balance in an Unbalanced World for Women. and so far. And this is a really good book to read because with all the things that we as women have on our shoulders, work, family, relationships, and kids, and all this and that so far. Sometimes we just need to breathe and take a break and so far, and just, find some kind of peace within our heads and all that. And this is a nice little book to give you some kind of guidance with that and so forth. Try to balance out your work and so forth and things like that in this unbalanced world and so forth. So I was glad to pick this book up. And speaking of great books, this is a book by Nora Roberts. Nora Roberts uses J.D. Robb as her pen, her character and so forth and everything. And we do have a bunch, not a bunch. We have a lot of three J.D. Robbs and so forth that we put together as a lot and so forth. Now I didn't put this in that lot and so forth, although it still has the same it goes with the same. Now, I may eventually add it and so forth, but this book here stands alone. Price-wise, the comp-wise is really good, so I decided just to keep this separate because it says Nora Roberts, J.D. Robb, writing as J.D. Robb and so forth and everything. So you know that Nora Roberts does all the J.D. Robb books and all that and so forth, but I decided to keep this book separate. Also, too, this book has a great feature on it. It has a large print and so forth. So when I comp this book, I think this book is like $35. It stands on its own. And that's one of the things I learned too about books. Because you don't want to sell a bunch of individual books for $10 and $15. Although I do have books in my store for that price and so forth. But you don't want to have a whole bookstore full of that. So that's one of the reasons you lock books together, for one. And also, too, you try not to purchase too many of those books for that price, those low $10 and $12 books and so forth. Unless when you do the book, I can actually stand alone on its own and so forth. Then you won't need to lock the book up and so forth. It'll stand alone. And like I said, because this has this nice print, this book is like new in new condition. And it has this nice large print feature to it and so forth. When I caught this book, it was $35. So I did not bother with putting this book with the other three J.D. Robb books that I did lock together and so forth. So thank you for joining me on my first book sale for 2024. Hope I'll be able to bring you more books and talk about these books and so forth. And also, now that I have learned something about the book selling, I can give you a little tidbit as well, tips and so forth and things like that. And of course, I will be taking you with me when I go through things and all that. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I'll see you on the next one.